The Galactic soldier's blade gleamed under the arena lights, his eyes locked on the small human child standing 50 feet away. No one in the crowd of 10,000 gave the child a chance, but they'd never seen eyes that had already accepted death and chosen to fight anyway. The Pit of Champions had hosted countless battles across the centuries. Warriors from every corner of the galaxy came here to prove their worth, to claim glory in blood and victory. Today's match was supposed to be an execution disguised as sport. Commander Vrax of the Thorian Empire, veteran of 100 campaigns, against a human child who barely reached his chest. The crowd's roar was deafening. Most had bet heavily on Vrax finishing the fight in under 10 seconds. The odds makers hadn't even bothered listing odds for the child's survival. Vrax stood 8 feet tall, his body a sculpture of bioengineered muscle and integrated armor plating. For arms each capable of crushing stone. Eyes that could track movement at triple human speed. He'd killed species twice his size without breaking a sweat. Across from him, 10-year-old Marcus Chun stood in simple cloth wrappings. No armor, no weapons. Just a child who'd been captured during the raids on the human colonies. The arena masters thought it would make good entertainment. The mighty Thorian warrior versus the helpless human child. They'd marketed it as the ultimate display of galactic superiority. "Begin!" the announcer's voice boomed. Vrax didn't move immediately. He savored these moments. The fear in his opponent's eyes. The way they trembled before the inevitable. But the human child wasn't trembling. Marcus stood perfectly still. His breathing controlled. His dark eyes tracking every micro-movement of Vrax's body. "You should be crying, little monkey," Vrax growled. His voice amplified by the arena's acoustic design. "Where are your tears? Your pleas for mercy?" Marcus tilted his head slightly. "I don't waste energy on things that won't help me survive." The crowd laughed. Vrax's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Brave words for meat that's about to be tenderized. Tell me, child, do you know what I do to enemies?" "You talk too much," Marcus replied quietly. "That's your first mistake." Vrax's amusement turned to irritation. "And what would a larva like you know about combat mistakes?" "Everything," Marcus said, shifting his weight almost imperceptibly. "I know you favor your upper right arm for killing strikes. I know you have an old injury in your lower left knee that makes you compensate with a slight drag when you pivot. I know you're about to charge with a feint left before striking right because you've done it in your last 6 arena fights." The arena fell quieter. How did this child know these things? Vrax's eyes narrowed. "You've studied me. My grandfather fought in the resistance. He taught me something before your kind killed him." Marcus's voice carried across the arena. He said, "Size doesn't matter. Strength doesn't matter. What matters is knowing when to strike." "Then let me teach you something in return," Vrax snarled, beginning his charge. "Knowledge means nothing when you're dead." Time slowed. Vrax moved exactly as Marcus had predicted, the feint left, the preparation for the killing strike with his upper right arm. The crowd was already cheering, anticipating the violent end. But Marcus had started moving before Vrax even began his charge. 1 second, Marcus dropped to his knees and slid forward, using the arena's polished floor and his small size to his advantage. He passed directly under Vrax's strike, between the warrior's legs. 2 seconds. As he slid, Marcus's hand shot out with precision that would have made a surgeon jealous. His fingers found the exposed nerve bundle behind Vrax's injured knee, the one weakness in Thorian anatomy that their pride prevented them from acknowledging or protecting. 3 seconds, Marcus applied pressure with the technique his grandfather had shown him, the one passed down from humanity's ancient martial arts. Vrax's entire leg went numb. The massive warrior's momentum combined with the sudden loss of support sent him crashing face-first into the arena floor with a sound like thunder. Marcus rolled to his feet and stepped back, watching as Vrax tried to rise and failed, his nervous system in chaos from the precisely applied pressure. The arena was silent. 10,000 beings held their breath. "You wanted to kill me," Marcus said, his young voice eerily calm in the vast space. "But you never realized humans never give up. We can't afford to." Vrax struggled, his 3 functional arms trying to push himself up while his leg remained useless. This is impossible. You're just a child. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anyone." Marcus walked closer, staying just out of reach. "I've seen too much to let fear rule me. My colony burned. My family died. You think this arena scares me? You think you scare me?" The crowd began to murmur. "This wasn't how it was supposed to go. You didn't expect me to survive. You didn't expect me to fight. But I did. And that's what makes me dangerous." Marcus looked up at the crowd, then back at Vrax. Every human child learns this lesson now. We watch. We learn. We adapt. And we never ever give up. Vrax finally managed to prop himself up on 3 arms, his legs still refusing to respond. The nerve block, how did you? Victory isn't about the final blow. It's about understanding the battle. Marcus stepped back toward the arena exit. You thought this was about strength, but it was about knowledge. You showed me your weakness every time you favored that knee. You told me your patterns every time you killed. You taught me how to beat you before we ever met. The arena security moved forward, unsure what to do. The fight was technically over. Vrax couldn't continue with a disabled leg. But this wasn't how arena fights ended. There was supposed to be death, glory, a clear victor standing over a fallen foe. Kill me then, Vrax growled. Take your victory. Marcus shook his head. That's the difference between us. You kill because you can. We survive because we must. You're not worth killing. You're worth more alive as a message. He turned to address the entire arena, his child's voice somehow carrying to every seat. You thought you could crush me. But the moment you underestimated me was the moment you lost. And that's what every species who thinks humans are weak needs to understand. We're not weak. We're learning. Every loss teaches us. Every death makes us stronger. Every child you orphan becomes someone who knows exactly how to fight back. Marcus looked directly at the arena master's box. You wanted entertainment. You wanted to see a human child die. Instead, you saw the future. We don't need your strength. We don't need your technology. We just need what we've always had, the will to survive and the minds to figure out how. He walked toward the exit, pausing one last time. You were just another obstacle in my way. And I never let anything stand in my way. Remember that next time you think about raiding human colonies. Remember that every child you leave alive becomes someone like me. The arena remained silent as Marcus disappeared into the exit tunnel. Then, slowly, starting from the cheaper seats where other humans and lesser species sat, applause began. It spread like wildfire through the arena, becoming thunderous. Vrax lay on the arena floor, his pride shattered more thoroughly than any bone could be. The medics who approached heard him muttering over and over, 3 seconds. A child defeated me in 3 seconds. In the following days, the footage spread across the galaxy. Military academies analyzed it. Parents showed it to their children. The arena, which had operated for centuries on the principle of might making right, saw its first regulation changes. No more children in combat. The risk, they realized, wasn't to the children, it was to their champions' reputations. Marcus Chin became a symbol, though he never sought it. The human child who proved that David versus Goliath wasn't just an Earth story, it was a universal truth. That sometimes the smallest stone, thrown with perfect precision, could bring down any giant. And in the war rooms of great empires, generals began to ask a troubling question: if one human child could do this, what could an army of them accomplish? The answer would come sooner than they thought, and it would change the galaxy forever.